Welcome to the Halcyon YouTube channel. Today onwards we are going to start the ISO 9001 2015 based quality management system requirement explanation. I hope you already subscribed to our channel, so whenever we upload new videos you can get the information and then you can join with us to get the new knowledge. So let me start with the standard requirement. This is a 4.1 requirement. What standard has to say about this element? So according to the standard, the organization shall determine external and internal issues that are relevant to its purpose and its strategic direction and that affect its ability to achieve the intended results of its quality management system. The organization shall monitor and review information about these external and internal issues. So this is the only explanation given by the standard. So according to this statement, there are a few keywords. The organization purpose, organization strategic direction, which earlier standard never talk about. Those areas which it was not discussed the previous standard. But this standard start to talk about the strategic direction of the organization as well. Then under this element, we need to identify the external issues and the internal issues which is going to affect the organization purpose of the quality management system. So this external and internal issues effect can be positive, can be negative. There can be a positive effect, there can be a negative effect. And then most important part, the external and the internal environment can be changed. So standard required us to review the context analysis according to the planned interval. So standard doesn't specify the planned interval, but depending on the organization you can identify planned interval. So maybe you can have a separate meeting with the top management since you are discussing the strategic direction, or maybe you can couple with your management review. So organization has a full freedom to do that. And in this 4.1 element, standard doesn't demand any documented evidence, but if organization wants to have documented evidence, you can keep documentation for that. From today's session, what we try to cover is under 4.1 external element. So when you do the external element, what you can do is there are methodologies, there are systems you can follow it out. So there are one analysis called pest analysis. Under this pest analysis, you can discuss political, economical, sociological, technological, legal and environmental factors. Organization management can have a discussion there. Or maybe if you can want to do a kind of elaboration under economic sectors, economic factors, you can discuss about the money exchange rate, dollar fluctuation. That's purely depend on the industry. Like if you are into the export market, there are positives and negatives for the dollar fluctuation, right? So depend on the business sector, there can be a positive and negative impact. And then economic situation, maybe country economic situation, maybe your export economic situation or overseas economic situation, there can be a positive and negative effect. And then inflation forecast, or maybe if you are into the project industries, like you are doing a project, so the credit availability, that can be a factor for that. So under economic situation, maybe you can discuss all these positive and negatives. And then social factors, local unemployment rate, safety perception, especially due to this COVID-19 situation, organization, they implement a lot of procedures. But if your people, they are not adherent to these safety perception, safety practices, then there will be a serious impact. So we need to understand that, why they are not adhering to that. So those things we need to understand. And then education level of the people, that also a requirement. Positive negatives we need to understand. The public holidays and the working days in the particular country, we need to understand. Depend on the business, we need to understand those factors. And then political factors. We are not going to discuss the politics, but political stability, public investment, maybe local infrastructure, availability. There are positive, there are negative, so we need to study those. And then international trade agreement, which can affect your industry, that also we need to study. And then technological factors, new sector technology, or maybe new material and equipment, or maybe if you have a patent products expiration. So those things we need to study these factors. And then most important, market factors, market competition, your organization market share, maybe similar product and service factors, or maybe market leader trend. If you are market leader, scenario is totally different. So you need to identify the positive and negatives. And then customer growth trend, market stability, maybe supply chain relationship, we need to study. And then most important part, statutory and regulatory requirement which can affect your organization. Maybe there are laws, they can be changed. So those things we need to study. So there can be positive impact, there can be negative impact. So we need to study that. And maybe if you have, if your organization is under unionized, so then what can be the positive impact, what can be the negative impact. So those things we need to study. So under this element, we need to cover all these activities, and then organization need to understand the positive and negative factors which can affect to their quality management system, including their strategic direction. So on the next segment, we are going to discuss the internal risk. Hope you will subscribe and like our YouTube channel, and if you have any question, you can comment below. So we will come back with the answers to you. Thank you very much.